Hi, this is Richard Dunn at Avoca. In this video we're going to make the cloud texture for our smoke for the fire particle. So I've already gone ahead into CG textures and I've picked this particular material texture here. So what I'm going to do is just open this up and we're just going to crop it down so we're only dealing with an area that we need to worry about. So we're not dealing with a huge image, like so. We'll just Control plus to zoom in on that. Now what I'm going to do with this image is try and extract the sky from the cloud. And the best way to do that is a technique matte painters use, or background painters for movies, that I learnt from a guy called Dylan Cole. And this is using channels to extract soft images like a cloud. So if we come into channels, we see that we have the RGB. And quite clearly here we see that the red channel has a lot more contrast in it than the other two. If we look at the green, it's okay, but it's not good enough, and the blue is even worse. So the red is clearly the one that we want here. So we're going to go select the red channel, we're going to right click on it and duplicate the channel and make that active. Then what we're going to do is we're going to copy that into a new image. It will always inherit the sizes of the selection, so you just leave that. And we now have a grayscale image. Now even that is not something that we really want at this stage. So what we're going to do is we're going to convert that to RGB and flatten. And what we want to do now is basically the same thing we did with the fire. We want to come down here and we want to add a curves adjustment layer to it. Hold Alt and parent it. And we're going to come in here and we're just going to take this in until we start to remove a lot of that information. And that looks about right there. So we'll close that. And we'll zoom in on it. And we'll start to pick a brush. We'll find something that's a little bit noisy. That one there is a pretty good one. And we're just going to get black and we're just going to start on the layer. We're just going to start painting out these areas and these little clouds or outside clumps, because they will add artifacts. You can go smaller and you can zoom in. It'd be as fussy as you want. And then we'll come down here and we'll just try and find the little gaps between these outer sections and just eat away into them. That one there, we want to just sort of crop through there. And we may have to do a bit of blurring here to get rid of that one. Okay. So what we've got there, you can just get a slightly bigger brush now and just go over that area and make sure that you're happy with it. Make sure that you've got rid of all the little areas that need to be removed. Then we'll just get the blur brush and we'll just bring that strength right down and we'll just soften that edge out a little bit like that. Anywhere else that you think it needs it. Like so. Now what we're going to do is we can crop that even closer now. Just get that into where we know we've got a good boundary. And what we're going to do then is we're going to just resize this image and we're going to set it to 1024 by 1024, and that is effectively our cloud texture. And that can be used a number of ways, this technique. It can be used to extract people, it can be used to extract objects out of skies or other backgrounds that have less contrast in it. So that's the general technique for that. Now what we're going to do now is just finalize this, create an alpha channel for it, and then we'll import it into the engine and start on the fire particle. So all we have to do is come up to layer, flatten image to bake everything down, and what we're going to do then is just come into the channels, and we're just going to copy this, Control C, come to our alpha, add an alpha, paste, and we now have an alpha channel masking out everything. So what we'll do is we'll now save this, and we'll call this smoke, and we want alpha channel and of course 32-bit, and that is our smoke texture finished. So in the next video we'll start actually working on the smoke particle effect itself.